Hey guys, good evening. How is it going? Hope you all had a fantastic day. I hope your day was good. Please, I hope your day was good. I hope you guys are doing okay. I just have a disturber around me. Who's live? Who's live? Who's live? Who's live? Who's live with me? Who is live? I'm waiting for you all to join us. Who is live? Who is live? How did the challenge go today? I hope you all were able to find something to do in terms of you doing your marketing message. Now, the truth of the matter is that many times, sincerely speaking, most times when we put out our content or put out our message out there, the truth of the matter is, hi Ify, good evening, thank you for joining me. I should bring you live and cast you so I can ask you how your challenge today went. The truth of the matter is that the challenge is for any stage in the business where you find yourself, really, because you might be 1 year in your business and you might need that extra push to see, or that extra oomph to see if what you're doing actually is getting you the right results that you need. You might be 3 years in business and you're not getting the results you want as well. So the Business Booster Challenge is basically to help you to be able to maximize your message, to be able to bring value to the people that you are doing business with. So let me know, how did the challenge go for you? Was it easy for you to craft your message and all of that? Now, we hear a lot about making the loudest noise in the marketplace, how noisy the marketplace is, and all of that. But the truth of the matter is that to get your clients to notice you. In fact, myself and somebody created a marketing message today, and she was blown out of her socks. Even she wanted to buy from herself, and that's how your marketing message should be. Even you'd want to buy from yourself. She's a fashion designer, and we crafted a message that said, we understand that you have various options thrown at you, but you must also know that once people come in contact with you, the first thing they see is your dress, and in 2 seconds they can make an opinion about you. Why don't you contact us at the next time you want to look like the expectations you desire? And the way we crafted the message, it might not be in the exact words, but the way we crafted the message was in such a way that even she was like, could this be my business? And so that's it. You want that you want that reaction, for your customers to really sit up and notice you. So you have to make sure that whatever you're doing, your message must speak to the topmost part of their of their problem. So the question basically is that, how did it go for you today? Did the task mean anything to you? Did it look like something you wanted? Was it not what you wanted? And all that. Let me know. If you have any comments for me, don't let me add it to the camera. Let me know. Any comments? For those of you who are watching, please let me know that you are live so we can continue, right? And so the workbook is ready, but the truth of the matter is that I'm a bit reluctant to share the workbook, and I'll explain to you why. I need it to be that you actually need the workbook, because many times we eat on too much flesh, and it's not really what we want. We just want to we want it to look like we are acquiring things, and it might not necessarily be what you want. So I want it to be that it's something that you truly need, for the fact that you are going to actually fill the pages and it will mean something to you. That's exactly why I'm just stalling in terms of, do I give it out, do I not give it out, and all of that. That's the only stuff that's making me not to give it out and not, because basically, hello, can you hear me? Hi, you don't want me to put you on blast. Oh, you're eating. I want to eat with you. Hi, Angela. How you? Hi, Angel. Sorry. Hi, Adam Saint Mokat. Hello. Good to have you guys on. Have you guys been doing the challenge? Angel, I'm not sure you've been doing the Chika rather. I'm not sure you've been doing the challenge with us. But have you looked at it so far and all of that? Yesterday we focused on the winning mindset, and we said the winning mindset is basically the difference between running an expensive hobby and actually running a full-fledged business, right? A full-fledged profitable business, and everything starts with the mind. Hi, Adam saying, how is it going for you? So the truth of the matter is that once you are focused on being the best version of yourself, and you're focused on understanding the kind of success you want to create for yourself, the next big picture, the next big step is to take the action that will help you get there. that will take the action that will help you get your business out there. Now, the truth of the matter is that you might already have a message. You might already be talking to people about your product or your service. But the truth of the matter is, or the question basically is that, is it actually attracting your ideal client? Does it speak to the problem at the topmost part of their mind? Does it talk about the benefit and the outcome for them? Or is basically emphasizing what you do? And it's a huge difference. I made an analogy yesterday about when I was doing my exercise, and I told my husband, and I asked him, oh, babe, can you do this exercise? And he's like, no. He was very defensive. And then I turned the switch and I said, would you please show me how to do these push-ups? And this guy was going to walk. He literally took off his shirt and he started doing the exercise. What changed? What changed in those two scenarios? I'd like to hear. What changed? Basically, I had taken the spotlight off of me and put it on him. And that incited an action. I think my camera is dirty. That incited an action because I took the spotlight off of myself and put it on him, and I made his superpower to show. Do you understand? And that's what changed. That's what made the difference, because I had switched it. So the whole idea of today's challenge is to make sure that your message is front and center on every single thing that you're doing and every single message, and you're getting it right. And it doesn't start until you understand that you're not in the business for everybody. That concept has been around for a while. Everybody understands, and everybody kind of feels that, yes, I have a bit of understanding about who my ideal clients are. But it's necessary that you understand who exactly they are. Now, because there was a time that I put on the group that, mango was in season, and I loved mango a lot. I put on the group, I put my daughter licking mango and so many things, and somebody was like, please, I hate mango. And that just struck a chord, that because you are the ripest mango on the planet, or because you are the juiciest mango on the planet, not everybody will like you. Exactly. Make your customers feel the care and the love. We are all human beings, and we always want somebody to ask us, how did it go? Or how are you doing? Or how can I help you get better? Naturally, we human beings are naturally selfish. I don't mean that in a bad way, hear me. Naturally selfish to mean that we want things to be all around us, to revolve around us all the time. And if we understand that concept, which we'll be doing tomorrow, tomorrow's exercise will be basically, I won't get cut out of the bag, but tomorrow's exercise, we'll do it Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll continue day 4 on Monday and finish up on Tuesday, so we're almost done anyway. But I believe that if you religiously put all of this into practice and you take some time to actually build these foundations of your business, you'll be having a launch pad to get into 2018 with no problems at all. Now, if you look at the market, I know I'm digressing a little bit. If you look at the market, a lot of people that you started the race with in January are off of the market, either because people have seen through them and they're not good enough, or they were living somebody else's life or passion, or they were just, a fad, or just don't have the right mindset to continue. They have seen that it's not going to work and all of that, but that's not the situation for you. What we want is for you to actually have that launch pad to continue. So speaking about your message, your core message is the pivot of your business, is what guides your business, is what, is the core of your message. So what is it for you? Is it for you to empower people? Is it for you to make them feel better? Is it for them to help them be knowledgeable? But all of this will not make sense if you don't know these people that you are dealing with in the market. Somebody approached me today and she talked to me about selling unique souvenirs. And I said to her, so what have you been putting out? What have you been using to tantalize or woo your audience? And she says, her products. And I asked her, what is the most pertinent issue that somebody that is looking for souvenirs will be looking, as it was the most pertinent issue for that person? She said, I've never thought about it. For me, basically, as a mom who lives in some part of Lagos, and I know that there are other people who live in some other part of Lagos who are approximately close to a market called Iporin, for instance, I would expect that anybody who wants to target my area will target it as, don't spend too much time going to Iporin. You can actually get goods delivered to you at the exact same price. I would actually be thinking about variety. I would actually be thinking about, things that maybe I want to stand out amongst my friends. That might be a motivation for me. Or I want to stand out in class when I'm taking my child's party pack. Or I want the mothers to woo and wow whenever they look at the party packs or the souvenirs and put it out together. Those are the guns we need to be speaking with, the desires of people, their behavioral pattern, in terms of how they are shopping, in terms of how they desire your product or your service. Is anybody following me today? You can go ahead and invite other people who are not here yet. Okay, you can go ahead and invite other people who haven't joined us yet. It's okay and it's fine. So it's really about understanding your clients such a way that you can speak the language they understand. I do that a lot with my clients. I know that many times by the time I speak to them, their business is about to scale up and they need to put processes in place, and they need to also make sure that their marketing is magnetic. So before they even go towards the problem, I already help them to carve the problem already. Do you understand? And so every single opportunity you have to talk about your business, make sure that you are centering around questions. Now, for your target audience, please ask questions. Facebook groups are not for fancy. If you're on Facebook, there's a button on the left hand side which for searching. You can put the keywords in your industry in there, if it's visibility, if it's reading, particularly in a group that has your ideal clients, and search for the way they interact around those words. What do people say about visibility? Some of my topics, I got them off of groups like Smart Camp, and even here, or some of my courses. When I created the breaking the visibility struggle, it was something I saw here when somebody said they were struggling with their visibility. So when you put your keywords in that search button, you find out exactly how people are talking about their problems in the exact words. Because a lot of us can be fancy. Like that lady I was talking about, she said to the best of her knowledge, she assumes people want unique items. To the best of your knowledge is not good enough, because your business has to live here and go into the concept and the mind of your ideal client. So you have to juxtapose your talent alongside, you have to be able to juxtapose your talent alongside what your clients really want, so that when you're communicating with them, when you're serving them, you're going above and beyond to make them extremely happy. You're serving them and you're pulling out all your guns and barrels to make sure that you are pleasing them in a way that resonates with them. If you're on this trail and we're talking, let me know if you particularly need the workbook. Again, like I said, I don't want you to start packing on things that you don't necessarily need. So if you need the workbook, I'll be very happy to provide it to you, but I also want to make sure that whatever I'm giving to you is something that you actually really need and you are going to use. You understand? So you can tell me on there. So when we talk about your marketing message, right? Can somebody write one? Like, just create, while I'm talking, just create your marketing message and we'll talk about it. We'll talk through the elements and what it looks like and if it makes any sense. Awesome. No problem. Just let me know what your message is. Generally, it doesn't have to be perfect, and that's why I said we should do today's task, so that I can look through it and I can help you make amends. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be able to have some elements which will work on, right? So a powerful message is the most valuable resource you can really have to stand out, because that's what you use to woo your audience. That's what you need to tell them how unique your perspective is or how different your perspective is. Now, when you go to somebody's website, like today I was looking for a quick information on the labor law or something. I wanted a different interpretation. When I went there, the first thing I saw, the person just, that pop-up message that asks you to join a mailing list, I just closed it. Truth of the matter is that we are becoming very impatient in this time and age. So in the past, you will scroll through people's website maybe 30 seconds, but right now 3 seconds is all it takes for somebody to make an opinion about you. 3 seconds is all it takes. I just seen your outlook, choose 3 seconds. So how much do you think you need to grab and engage and keep your attention enough for them to communicate with you? In an extremely competitive space, you need to be able to speak verbally about your brand and be able to simplify it in a way that makes sense to your ideal client. So really, what is your brand message? As a parent, are you worried about your child not loving to read books? Go on. If you, I'll look at it later. So your brand is how people think and feel about your company. The message basically is how people feel about it, and there are different types. You can visually communicate in terms of your colors or logos, but before you go out there to do all that, you want to get it right with the words as well. You want to get it right with the message as well, and it's the message that gets people really excited to want to do business with you, because your message has clarity in terms of purpose, and it has clarity in terms of meaning, and in terms of help for your ideal clients, right? So your core message part of the fabric of your message is the core. When you talk about core, like in the heart, core is the centrifuge. Is that the word? Is the center point. Core is like your heart. Core is what captures the purpose behind your message. It is the very heart of your message. And when you are clear on your core message, you can build all of your branding around it. And that's what I'm trying to say, that I want you to be able to create a message so that everything you say, aligns across your message. So my core message, the core reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want people to be overwhelmed from running a business. And so everything around what I do is around helping you create content, reducing your burden, helping you create visibility, reducing your burden, helping you to create processes, reducing your burden. And that's all my message is all about. So you need to understand what your core message is. So now, if as a parent, are you worried about your child not loving to read books? Yes, it's a nice question. It speaks to curiosity, But on other cases, you particularly saying things around, the mother's perception about the child's future. Do you understand? The mother's perception about the child's future. Have you seen, or research has shown, for instance, that to get into Harvard, your child needs to get SAT scores of XYZ. And research has also shown that children who read something hours a day are able to cap SAT scores XYZ. And there's research to prove it. There's research to prove it. So if, as a mother, my dream is to make my child go to Harvard, that message will capture me. But if, as a mother, my dream is just to make my child anywhere belle face, the message will not make sense to me. So even with mothers, there are different levels of mothers. There are mothers who have a certain level of clicks or a certain level of and they want to compete around those mothers. There are mothers who they go to summer vacation every weekend, or every year, or they go summer vacation every time. So they want to compete on that level. There might be something that is motivating them beyond that, so that they can either be better than Bola's children or better than Adamson's children. Do you understand? So if you need to find out what worries parents around their children not reading and speak to that thing. Research has shown that 50% of children who pick up a book to read every single day will do XYZ. And I use my daughter as an example, not to boast or anything, but I use her as an example. Today we were coming back and I asked her to spell mechanic. Usually because of the K, some children will say K. She spelled it 100%. I gave her like 10 different letters. She's 5, and she's outstanding when it comes to spelling. And I can beat my chest. That is because I read to that child from the womb. Right now, she picks up enlightening books. She picks up books around people flying to space and all that. She will tell you that, you can dream big. She picks up my book on management, rules of management. She picks up my books to read. Do you understand? And she makes sense out of it. So that can be a case study for you to say, for your child to be an A student, or for your child to be able to make it into Ivy League schools, your child needs to have this many hours of reading. For parents who are intellectually sound, for parents who want a different outlook for their child in terms of core growth, it will resonate with them. So sometimes when you ask questions like this, it makes sense, no doubt, but it only rises in insinuations for a period. Again, I always say that people want what other people have had. People want what other people have had. So if they see that people's children are making success because they have read, like Dr. Imafidon's children are making success because their parents made them to explore or to read or to do stuff, they want that kind of recognition. Dr. Imafidon's children have gotten recognition from the Queen herself. They've gotten They've gotten recognition from the Queen herself. They've gotten recognition from royalty. They built schools in London because their children are star children. And any parent who has that as the core of their being will follow you. So you need to find exactly what the parents, want for their children. Because, and if it's just for leisure time, to bring back folklore, to bring back the spirit of community, to make the children have a sense of direction, all well and good. My children have a children's book that teaches about body parts. So it might be you also trying to find out what your core message is. What are you trying to achieve with your business? If you hope that's helpful. Anybody else that has any what you call it, any marketing message, you put it down and we'll talk about it. So your marketing message, your core message allows you to take a stand and a position in the market, and everybody knows that your stand is clear. For if now your stand is that you want more kids to cultivate the habit of reading, your stand is clear. But what we need to do now is be able to communicate it clearly in the way that your clients understand. And please don't lose that core. Your core is to make sure that every child cultivates the habit of opening a book and reading. So you need to be able to fully express your core message in a way that it attracts people and it shows them the value of what you're providing. Now, the second thing I want to talk about in terms of marketing is the real marketing message itself. As part of your entire message brand, you want to be able to, again, grab your prospect's attention by instantly communicating the thing that you are doing to them. So it allows you to be able to explain what you do and who you help. So I help parents, or I help children build the stability or the stamina to read, so that at the end of time they can. Do you understand? So you need to be able to say what you do and who you help, so that anybody who hears or sees that message will be able to relate particularly to that specific goal. So I help children be able to cultivate the habit of reading again. Is it so that they don't get into bad habits, or they don't get into browsing for things on the internet? Because a colleague of mine had an issue where her child was browsing for particularly not unclad women, basically, for lack of a better word. So you want to make sure that you are saying what you do and who you help and the goal, the outcome. So I help children to be able to master the art of reading, so that their IQ can be whatever, so that their distance can be whatever, so that they can become better adults in future, or they can if books have been linked to, if reading books have been linked to stopping children from having depression at a certain age, or if books have made them to become more eloquent in speaking, or if good books have helped them to become the president, you want to say the outcome so that the mother can see it. And I would advise you also to be able to have a child that you work with. This might take some time, but you'll be seeing results that you can track over time. So again, like I said, you have to be clear about the solution and the outcome for your client. So creating your marketing message can be pretty easy if you think about it. So you think about your target market and the struggle they have and the negative emotion they have. So my target market are businessmen. They struggle with overwhelm and frustration, and it makes them really feel bad about themselves that they don't become visible. So my solution is to help them make sure that I am helping them deal effectively with the overwhelm and frustration that comes from running that business, so that they can appear in their own uniqueness and they can be able to sell their products and service profitably in front of their ideal client. My point of differentiation is that I come from a place of research. I come from a place where I've worked over 14 years in offline marketing. So I understand the nuances of being able to break out all of those things. Aside from that, my background is in human resources. I don't understand any other person who can help you learn how to attract and retain people, except those of us who have been in HR for the longest time. So you understand. So you can even say you work with children who struggle with maybe attention, or who struggle with attention in class, or who struggle with being friendly, or who struggle with being social, or who are socially awkward, to learn the art of using words to express themselves, so that they can become much more visible in their classroom, much more visible amongst their friends, and be able to achieve all their awards in school or something of that nature. Or you can say things like, but you must always be able to speak to the negative emotion or their frustration, the things that they're exhausted about, and the things that you are going to help them with. So I teach children who are emotionally detached, to be able to master the art of managing their emotions through reading. And the outcome will be that they'll be able to be more socially acceptable, and they'll be able to be less socially awkward or something of that nature. So I've given you different dimensions. You can say, but there must be an action, which is teach, help, guide or whatever, your target market must be in there. Their frustration must be in your whatever, in your marketing message, and at the end of the day, the benefits and the outcome for them. So remember, your message is not something that you repeat like a robot. You have to say it with all the passion in you. You have to get comfortable with your own message and give yourself the permission to be able to refine and evolve it as much as you can. So for your marketing message to be clear and concise, it must be jargon free and very easy to understand. So now, instead of saying things around, do you want to lose weight? I say, how would you like to fit into that beautiful skinny jeans in your wardrobe? Immediately I want to fit into it, because I've taken the attention from asking the question to actually what I want to feel, which is my desire. How would you I talk to you about what are they? Thank you. I talk to you about how do you want to feel when you walk into your high school graduation, your high school reunion party, or don't you mind that stare from your husband when you wear that skinny jeans? Because there are emotions I want, because I am horrible, I'm fat. I know that my husband will not give me that stare I've been craving for before we got married and all of that. So speak to the emotion and really leave the questions out of it, but speak to the desire. How would you feel in front of a mirror when you wear that skinny jeans that has been locking in your wardrobe for years? Or it's time for your high school reunion, it's about time. Or how would you feel having more energy to run with your child up the staircase? It's a desire that people want, so you must be able to speak to that desire, and you must make it very easy for the tiniest person to be able to comprehend. Because people who try to form, I know it very well, I know all the English, blah blah, you're just jargonizing everything. You don't understand it. So you want to speak in the language your ideal clients understand. It's not necessarily Igbo or English. What I mean by the language is that what exactly are their pains and frustration that they will recognize immediately with your message. Your message has to be very memorable and has to inspire an emotion and curiosity. And above all, it has to be true to who you are. I'm a very foundational person. I like to build the foundations first. And I don't like to build short-term businesses. I like us to go the long haul. So I'm going to be working with you systematically. And that's where your core message comes to play. Now, your message must be very magnetic. In other words, memorable. It must leave top of the mind to close to the heart. Top of the mind comes okay, but it must be close to the heart. In other words, if I think about this person, this is all I want. So it must be close to the heart. So why are you doing what you're really doing? We talked about your mindset yesterday. Now that you have discovered the secret part for you to propel yourself every day, why are you doing what you're doing? Is it because when you were small, you didn't have these opportunities? Or now that you have grown, you have found that in the market, there's you don't have healthy food for your children, or you figured out that there's so much lies in the industry now that you want to be the truest coach and the most honest coach to help people, or you figured out that people just read things and are not able to interpret them, and they just come out and be very verbose and people are running after them, but when it comes to implementation, it's zilch. So what exactly is your why? And that why is what shapes your marketing message. That's what makes you completely unique. That's what creates your voice, and there are no two voices like yours. So even if people copy your business, your voice is what you should maintain. So let me talk about the formula that you can use to create your core message. Your core message, like I said, is why you do what you do. I need a secretary to write for me. Your core message is why you do what you do. And your marketing message is who you help and what you do for them. Who you help and what you do for them. So for you to have a magnetic message, you must fuse your core message with your magnetic message, so that you can tell us why you do what you do, who you help, and what you do for them. So it's not only really about what you do, it's now what's in it for me, what's the benefit for me, and what is the outcome. Coming from a place of not having too many books to a place of being able to share my knowledge with other children. I want to help children to be able to embrace the habits, the communal habits of our Taste by Moonlight series, when we'll sit down to read. And what does it do for them? It helps them to shape their imagination. I mean, even shaping their imagination is too big a word. It helps them to be able to connect more with the things that are going on in the world and all of that. You want parents to be able to say, that's how I want my child to be. That's how I want my child to be. So when you're putting out your message about being how do I put it? Helping children read, you want to be able to say things that speak exactly to the mind of the children. To the minds of the parents as an aid. So parents might be concerned with the progress of their children in school. They may have people who worry about children not being able to just get it right. People may have the challenge basically of not having children who are awkwardly, not imbalanced, but not just very socially awkward, or socially there. So you want to be able to create a launching pad for children, to help them be able to be better versions of themselves, so that they can achieve all those high ACT scores they want in English, maths, history, or whatever it is. So if it's struggling with word recognition, there are children who struggle with word recognition, but with your reading skills or your reading pattern and the unique perspective that you bring into the picture, you make children who are more interested in reading, who are encouraged to grow, and to encourage to grow their reading skills. You help them to be able to use observation, you help them to be able to use their auditory learning, you help them to be able to pass exams, or be able to, so research in your business is very, very key, because you want to consider what the parents cry at night for. You want to consider what the parents discuss every day at night for. You understand? So you want to encourage activities that, require the child to read, so that all the time you're writing where they started from, what the progress is now, and the results the parents will see. So that's basically it for me. I don't know if you have any questions for me so far. I'll be very happy to answer. Let me know if you have any questions to answer. There are parents who really want to improve their children's reading. There are parents who want to help their kids get better. So you want to find those emotions and speak to those emotions. If you will still work together on crafting your message, trust me, I love your message and I love the perspective you bring into it. But the truth of the matter is that we want to be able to raise children that can read and write. We don't only want to raise children who can use only a tablet or who can use only an iPad. We want children that can be able to mix all of them together. We want children who are well-grounded all round and all that. So it's an amazing one. So thank you again for joining me tonight. I'm very excited I could share this night with you. Tomorrow is going to be power-packed as usual, and I'm glad I'm doing this challenge with you. Awesome. I would personally send you the workbook, because you have indicated interest and I know that you're going to use it. So you have my number. Just send me your email address on the group. I'll send it to you, on WhatsApp rather. I'll send it to you. I really want only people who are really interested in using it. I don't want to add more to your cupboard or add more to your email and things that you don't use. So it has to mean something to you. It has to mean that you use it. Alright guys, it was great hanging out. 7:44. I didn't even plan to stay this long. I wanted to just do 15 minutes. But I'm sure you've learned something. Ufoma, did you just join us? Did you just join us? Hi Gara, how are you? So yeah, that's it around your message. Catch the replay. It's so awesome. I'm thinking I'm going to even put it in my vault in teachable.com because I really enjoyed this particular session. And I'll try and put it on the group. On the page as well. All right guys, thank you Angel Daniel for joining me. Thank you Adamson, thank you Ify, my darling Ify, and thank you Ufoma, my awesome Ufoma. Enjoy your day guys. Bye, or your night.